Well, last night was a long night. I got to camp around about 3 AM. So by the time I got to sleep it was about 4 AM. And then I woke up about 7 AM, absolutely melting in my tent because of the heat out here. So yeah, 3 hours sleep. It was a good day yesterday. It was nice hanging out at Hikertown and then going for a burrito at lunchtime, so that was good. And then the night hike was obviously a new experience, but I can't say I loved it because obviously you don't get much scenery, and I think a few nerves kick in about wild animals, and then it got really windy, so it was an interesting night. I did listen to a podcast, or a couple of podcasts, while I was hiking just to keep myself company, so I didn't go too stir crazy. But I was glad to have found a little campsite. I think it was about 3 miles before the main campsite, so I ended up doing 20 miles last night instead of 23, which is what the next campsite would have been. But I've passed so many people cowboy camping on the way as well, so a lot of people had obviously got to a certain point where they just couldn't carry on and gave up. So today I think I'm about 22 miles from Tehachapi, and I haven't any idea what I'm doing yet. It's Friday, and I obviously will need to get to a post office because what I'll need to do is send a resupply to myself further on the trail. So I haven't decided whether or not to try and get all the way to Tehachapi today, which means I'll get there late tonight, or hike maybe 2/3 of the way there and then get up early and go in the morning. So I'm just going to see how I feel, because obviously on 3 hours sleep I'm feeling pretty shattered, I'm not going to lie. So I'm just going to wing it today. I'm going to go slowly because it's so hot out here already, and I'll just see what the day brings. But the scenery is really strange. I've kind of got, let me just show you, I'll split the camera around. I've got all the windmills on this side, and I literally was walking through them for hours last night. And then it's kind of mixed in with all the desert side of it as well. It's kind of eerie because at night they all light up red as well. And they were obviously going 10 to the dozen because it was really windy last night, so it's kind of cool. I like it. I discovered a bit of a new thing this morning. So normally when I have breakfast on a morning, I'll heat water up and have my porridge and then have coffee. But some mornings when I want to get out quicker, I like to just add cold water to my porridge and then just eat it like that. And this morning, for the first time, I'm actually trying cold coffee. And I have to say I rather like it. When you wake up and it's so hot, the last thing you want to have is a hot drink. So I thought this morning I'm just going to put it straight into my water bottle. I put 2 sachets in. I need the caffeine today. And it's quite delightful. I've got 2 things to show you. I mean, first of all, look at this wind farm. In such an open space, it's absolutely spectacular to see and walk through. And second of all, look at this path. Going up this hill, they've actually put stones either side of each step. I'll just pan you round. So when you're walking up, it feels like you're actually going up a real staircase. Someone's actually taken the time to go and do this. That's funny. so I've just stopped to take a break here. I've been hiking probably about 4.5 miles this morning, and I'm at the first water source, but also the last water source before Tehachapi. So it's going to be a dry section for about 17 hours, which means it's a very hot day and I'm going to have to carry a lot of water. So I'm carrying about 4.5 litres out, and I've just tasted it and the water's, oh, it's not very nice. So what I'm actually going to do in one of my bottles is put one of these emergency, I think they're called Emergency, that's it. It's a vitamin C and rehydration drink. It's got antioxidants and also electrolytes in that one. And then in my other bottle of water, I've got one of these Propel, and I quite like the grape flavour, so I'm going to get that in for my electrolytes as well. And it also takes the nasty taste away. I've also been doing some cold soaking for my lunch. So I've got some ramen noodles in here, and what I've done is just added some cold water to it, and by about lunchtime they'll be all cooked and ready, and because it's so hot today they'll actually probably be warm as well. And what I will likely do is just add in some peanut butter for those extra calories as well, so I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to sort all my water out and then keep hiking. I've got about another 1,000 feet of elevation to do this morning, so I've got to go above 6,000 feet, and I started at below 4,000. I think it was about 3,000 feet this morning. So a big climb, very dry section, low water, very hot. Yeah, it's a challenging day, but it is so beautiful out here today. It is so gorgeous and so quiet and peaceful. And the good thing is there's no really bad winds or storms or anything like that. So I'm just going to take it steady, see where I end up, and enjoy everything along the way. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I'm just about to eat these. I've already had a Pro Bar this morning after my porridge, but I don't know what it is, but these are absolutely gorgeous. It's like a seaweed, organic seaweed. And I don't know why I'm craving them so much. I don't know if it's the salt or the iron in it. I really don't know. But they are so nice. I'm going to enjoy these as well. Oh yes, the brolly's come out. It is so hot today, I can't believe it. I am actually wearing shorts as well, and I never wear my shorts. So, well, I say shorts, they're my trousers with the zips on them, so I can actually convert them. So today has been a lovely day. It has been so peaceful, so quiet, but kind of nothing seems to go on. You're kind of walking around the same tracks and seeing very similar scenery all day, and there's not much wildlife to be seen apart from the odd lizard scuttling across the path in front of you. So I have been listening to some podcasts this morning. So I've got my earphones here, and I just thought you might want to know what kind of podcast I listen to on the trail. So it's very rare I actually listen to music or anything. I've hardly done it since I've come out here. But on stretches like this, when it's all uphill and it's boiling hot, sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a distraction. And what I do is I just listen to it with one ear. And the one I've been listening to recently are the podcasts by the Minimalists, and I really like those podcasts because it's inspiring me. So when I go home, I want to have another declutter, and I want to get rid of loads of things and have a different view on life when I get back. I want things to be a lot more simple, and I've always said on my channel that everyone's version of minimalism is very different, and my version is completely different to somebody else's. I've still got so much more stuff than other people. But it's really got me thinking by listening to these podcasts about what's important to me while I've been out here and what am I missing. And it's so funny because you don't actually miss your belongings, and you don't, well, I personally haven't missed anything, not any physical things. I've missed people and loved ones. Obviously that breaks my heart, not seeing loved ones. And that's what's important to me, and that's what I've realised. So by coming out here, it's made me want to downsize or declutter even more, so I've not got any more distractions when I get back. I don't want to be filling my life doing things because I feel like I have to, or trying to achieve something when there's not actually a point to it. I'm just creating a lot of what's the word? I'm creating a lot of obstacles for myself, and I'm also creating a lot of overwhelm. And the more overwhelm you have, the less control you've got of your life. So my theory is the less things I have to do, the less overwhelm I have, and the more control I have over my life. And I want to really be a lot more grounded when I come home. I was listening to them talk about how when you're doing something, to really focus on what you're doing and be present and don't have distractions around you when you're doing things like that. And that's what I want. When I go home, I want to sit down with loved ones and just be completely there and completely present and in the moment and not worrying about something I have to do or go and do. I know, you know, in reality, things will get in the way, and obviously there's things that has to be done. But yeah, that's the kind of things I think about on trail. It's all the things that I want to change in my life when I get back, and the things that I want. I've also been listening to podcasts about manifestation and law of attraction and things like that. And I find that I'm believing now what I want my life to be like when I get home, and what I know it's going to be like. It's going to be wonderful. And I'm envisaging it and focusing on it so much that I know it's going to come true. And I'm so excited. As much as I love being out here, I'm so excited to go home as well and start my new life. And that's just me babbling away, sorry. But that is what I listen to. Other than that, I've got a playlist on my phone as well. So I have a complete random mixture of tunes. I do like classical music, I like country music, and I'm prone to listen to quite a lot of Disney as well. So that keeps me going on tough days. So yeah, that's what I've been doing as I've been walking along today. It is so dry out here. The heat is just crazy. So I've come all the way down here to the bottom, which is about 4,000 feet, just over. And now I'm climbing all the way back up again to over 6,000 feet. So a nice 2,000 feet climb in the heat of the day. Oh well, the good news is I've got my umbrella, I've got water, I've got food, I'm still smiling, and it's a perfect drying day. So I actually dry my things on this little loop thing here that Osprey have. They call it the stow and the go feature for your trekking poles, but I've decided that it should now be called the washing line. So at least I've got my clothes dry really quick. What I always do is when I get to a water source, I get some water and then go away to the side somewhere and then just rinse everything out, just with water, not soap or anything, and then you've got nice fresh undies the next day. And quite often I've got socks hanging off my pack, all kinds of stuff. I think it's important to try and keep as clean as possible where you can, obviously. But yeah, it is still a good day. It's a hard day. I've not seen anyone for hours, so I don't know where everyone else is. They're probably all hiding somewhere in the shade I don't know about. But it is a beautiful day, so I'm going to carry on climbing. I've not had my lunch yet and I'm so hungry, so I'm going to stop as soon as possible. I'm just going to try and get a bit more elevation so I don't have a great big steep climb straight after lunch. So I always try and do that. I always try and get to the high point for lunch if I can. Little guy, what are you doing? I think this is classed as a horny lizard. As you can see the horns on the top of his head. Gosh, I've never had one stay so still for me for so long before. That's incredible. He's quite amazing. I've got a new tree. I've not seen this one before. It's got these on them as well, as if it's going to grow into something. Oh, they're so nice. It smells so fresh as well. One thing that you're not allowed to do on the PCT, or not supposed to do, is camp on the trail itself. But look how shady. I think this is the only bit of shade that I've actually experienced all day. Oh, I just want to roll down my thermarest, my sleeping bag, and go to sleep. It's so nice and cool. Onward and upwards.